Hey guys and dolls, today's video is going to be the second half of The Ordinary skincare review, and I'm probably going to have to do a third part at some point because I'm still continuing to try products out from the brand, and I'm really excited about it. So for those of you who don't know that much about The Ordinary, I'm going to redirect you to the first video where I introduced the brand because it sort of explains it a little bit better than I can do. I don't want to repeat myself too much for everyone who's already heard it. It's particularly helpful for people who know what they're looking for with skincare. So for instance, if you know that you need a retinol product, you can just buy the retinol serum, and it's going to be a lot less expensive than buying a very fancy souped up formula that has a bunch of other stuff in it. What's great about it is that if you don't care about elegant formulas or fragrance or whatever, in fact fragrance in skincare is not all that great for you anyway, but that's besides the point. You're able to get things at a much more affordable cost, which is awesome. I still have products that I think that are totally worth spending the extra money on. I also feel that there should be affordable skincare options that are going to be effective and aren't going to break the bank, because I want to be able to suggest things to you guys, and I want to be able to buy them myself when I don't feel like spending that much money on skincare. So I just want to kind of go over some of the products that I've tried. Initially, I think I bought 3 that I shared with you. I had mentioned in my first video that I was going to try the products out for a couple of months and then kind of regroup and share with you guys how I'm liking them. I'm going to start with the things that I don't like because I want to end the video on a high note with the stuff I really love. So we're going to start first with the number 1 thing that I don't like, and that is the Vitamin C Suspension 23% with Hyaluronic Spheres 2%. I had mentioned even in that first initial video that I was kind of just having some issues with this right off the get-go. So I've tried a few different vitamin C products, and I will tell you this is effective because I've tried some others that were also super effective and had a high concentration, and in both instances they irritated my skin. And I understand there's a bit of a learning curve with it, or it's sort of like an irritation curve. Like once your skin gets over a certain hurdle, it will actually just do the good things without irritating your skin, and that's totally true with retinol, which we'll get to in just a moment. So I knew that should be true with vitamin C, but I just could not hang. But most importantly for me, this was a textural issue. This has kind of like a gritty kind of texture, like the ascorbic acid, which is what vitamin C is basically like suspended in whatever this is, because there's no water and there's no silicone. So I don't really know what it's made out of other than maybe some sort of creamy oil. It looks like a lotion. I don't like this. The main issue for me is the kind of tingling sensation, which can be lessened by kind of cutting it with moisturizer, which I did try to do for a couple of weeks. So I did notice some benefits from this. I did like that. It does work. That's the bottom line. But the textural issue with it being kind of gritty, I couldn't hang with. I felt like it had a hard time feeling like it was absorbing into my skin. And most importantly, it just felt gross. I have been using it mixed in with moisturizer on other parts of my body, like at night when I don't care what the texture is. But when I'm done using this up, I'm going to be done. I'm going to be trying the other vitamin C serum that they have, which is much milder and more of like a water-like texture. Just waiting for the other one to be shipped to me because Beautylish now carries The Ordinary, which is so exciting for me because Beautylish is across the Bay Area for me. So my packages usually arrive by like the next day. It's pretty awesome. The next product that I want to share with you guys from The Ordinary that didn't really work out for me so well is the Caffeine Solution. Now again, this is totally effective. It completely does what it says it's going to do. This is a solution that you put underneath your eye. It helps to tighten it with vitamins, or not vitamin C, I'm so sorry, with caffeine. So it totally works. The only issue for me is that it created a very dry under eye area, particularly in like this area. And so when I would go to apply my concealer over it, I'd have this weird like dry patch where it was almost like concealer phobic. It was weird. It was weird. Now, I do want to mention that if you use a lot of eye cream with it, it will sort of balance that out by being hydrating. For me, if I put a bunch of eye cream underneath my eye, then my mascara and my liner smudges. It's like a whole nightmare. I have a friend who also tried this out at the same time as me, and she loves it. So it does work for some people without creating that extreme dryness. I believe she said it did give her a little bit of dryness, but the eye cream solution works for her. It doesn't work for me, but the bottom line is, yes, this does what it says it's going to do. So the effectiveness, again, is totally there. For me personally, the texture didn't work for me. Another really great solution, cucumber slices. An oldie but goodie, but it works. Yeah, next product that I tried that I didn't really care for is the Advanced Retinoid 2%. This is a product that I was really hopeful for because it has a similar ingredient to my favorite retinol product, which is the Luna Sleeping Oil from Sunday Riley. Unfortunately, in terms of the ordinary product, this has like a milky kind of texture, which is kind of cool. It's not like thick or anything, but I noticed that when I went to put anything over this, whether it was a moisturizer or an oil or whatever, it would ball up, or it would feel like it was moving around my skin, and I felt like this never really felt like it completely absorbed in, and I need for it to absorb in because I need for it to not just feel gross and get sticky on my pillow, and I need to be able to put moisturizer on top of it. Particularly, I was trying this out in some of the drier months, so I needed to put moisturizer on top of it, and it just wasn't working. So for me, texturally, this is a no-go, and I feel like with all three of these products, that's sort of the issue, is texture. We're going to get to some stuff where the texture's awesome, so don't worry, it's not like everything from this line has weird textures. And I think that's where some higher end skincare kind of gets it right. So as a for instance, this Luna Sleeping Oil has a very similar retinol ingredient to the one from The Ordinary, but this is housed in carrier oils, and those carrier oils do other things for your skin as well. But part of that benefit is that it just sinks right into the skin. It's a very light oil, and it also, because it has the oils, it helps to minimize the irritation that can be caused from the retinol. As an example, another retinol product I like from Algenist is the Retinol Firming and Lifting Serum. This stuff is almost like a light lotion. So this stuff gives you a little bit of hydration, and it gives you a great slippy texture. Both of these two products work really well with various other skincare products, so they play nice with others, whereas I feel that this, the Ordinary Retinol doesn't really play nice with others. With that in mind, it does work really well on the body, places you're not going to be applying a bunch of other skincare products. So that's another benefit I definitely see from The Ordinary, is buying these products that have these ingredients that you want. And maybe the formula is not elegant, but if you're putting it on your body skin, who really cares? It's at night. You're going to wash it off in the morning. So really kind of excited about this brand. Everything is so inexpensive. Hey guys, so now we're going to get to the things that I love from this line. And we're going to start out with the 100% organic cold pressed rosehip seed oil. So rosehip oil is really great at sort of minimizing or even kind of undoing some of the sun damage on your skin, things that make you look a little older prematurely. This is a really great oil if you've wanted to try oils but you're afraid it's going to be too oily, if you're afraid it's going to be too heavy. This is a super, super lightweight oil. It almost feels like nothing on the face. Really awesome texture. Scent-wise, not my favorite. My favorite, like, regular oil that isn't medicated, like this one from Luna has retinol in it and things like that. So my favorite, like, just face oil is the Sea Berry one from Fresh, and I also really love the primer oil from Smashbox, which is technically a makeup product, but it has a lot of really great skincare benefits. Those are both awesome, but they're way more expensive than this. This one's only like $9.80. I love that this is a pure oil. This is not diluted. It doesn't have any like extra like filler oils in it or anything. And the main benefit of rosehip oil is that it has linoleic acid in it, and it also has vitamin A, which is similar to retinol, but it's a slightly different form of it. It works a little bit differently. This is great stuff. I don't tend to use this during the day because it does have a little bit of like a yellow tint to it, which isn't really the best for my super pale skin. It doesn't look really strongly yellow when I put it on. I just prefer to use it at night. So I will do a lot of my portions of my routine that are more like water weight type things, and then I'll use this, and then I'll use my moisturizer last. So the next product I want to share with you guys is the Niacinamide 10% and 1% zinc. This is a really interesting product that helps with acne, and acne is something that I continue to struggle with into my 30s now, and in my early 20s, a product or an ingredient that I used a lot was salicylic acid or try to sound smart and then you can't make the words come out of your mouth. Beta hydroxy acid, salicylic acid, they're one and the same. I still keep some of those products on hand, but overall, I find that if I use them too frequently, they cause me to get extremely dry skin and or break out more often. like the opposite of what you're trying to do with it. So I've been looking for alternative products. One thing that has been working for me is using the retinol products, using things like glycolic acid and lactic acids and things like that. But another little boost for me has been this niacinamide and zinc oxide serum. So I don't use this all the time because if I use it all the time, I feel like it would kind of dry my skin out a little bit. So what I do is I've used this like as I'm approaching that time of the month, during that time of the month, and anytime I feel like I'm gonna have a breakout. Like, you know how like sometimes you could just tell, like you have a premonition, you're like, I'm gonna get a zit Tuesday. I don't know what it is, but like I feel one brewing. And I've had some pretty nasty breakouts, which you guys have been privy to, and I had Fred and Ethel hanging out with me. So I have had some instances of breakouts, and my skin is clear again because of using this. It's kind of amazing. I love this stuff. Definitely recommend this. It is $5.90. I mean, damn, that is amazing. It's definitely worth checking out and seeing if it'll work for you. It helps to reduce the appearance of pores and does all kinds of really great stuff for your skin. Next thing I want to share with you guys is the buffet. This is the most expensive item that I've purchased from the Ordinary range. It says $14.80, so it's definitely the most expensive, but it's also kind of like the kitchen sink type product. So it's basically like 6 different types of peptide complexes mixed with amino acids, a probiotic complex, and hyaluronic acid. Basically, this has a bunch of good stuff for your skin, and I don't totally understand peptides yet. I am willing, and I'm woman enough to admit that I don't really know what they are or what they do. They do a lot of different things, basically collagen boosting and other stuff. I'm just keeping it real. I don't really know what they do, but I know that they were missing from my routine, and I know that they're important for good skin health. So I wanted to try something out like this that was inexpensive without having to get something like crazy, and when you don't really fully understand what something's doing for your skin, but you know you're supposed to use it, maybe not the time to buy something super expensive. I've been really happy with this. I assume that it's doing what it says it's going to do because my skin looks good. I should research that more, and I will revisit this with you guys at a later date once I have some time to devote to researching it a little bit more. What I love about this is that it's also water weight, and I've tried a couple of other water weight serums that I would use in my routine. They mostly had things like hyaluronic acid in them, and I discovered that using things with a lot of hyaluronic acid in it was actually making my skin a little bit drier. When you live in a dry climate, this is very important to note, if you live in the desert or anything like that, hyaluronic acid works by drawing moisture or water from the air and pulling it to the surface of your skin, which if you live in a humid environment is great. It gives you like beautiful, plump, juicy, glowy looking skin. But if you live in a dry climate, what can happen is it can actually draw the moisture out of your skin onto the surface where it is. So keep that in mind. It sounds kind of dramatic, and it's not always that dramatic, but you know, just something to keep in mind if you're using something with hyaluronic acid and you're noticing that you're getting some dry skin. Just be aware of it. And a lot of these products have hyaluronic acid in it. It seems to be sort of like the star ingredient. So I also try to not double up too much when I can avoid it, because if I'm using too many of these things that have hyaluronic acid in it, I don't want to get dry skin. It's not as much of an issue in the northern hemisphere as we move into spring and summer when the air is a little bit more humid, but just something to be aware of. You know, when you're dealing with all these different skincare things, there's all sorts of different things that can interact with each other, or based on your environment, they'll work differently for you. So the final product that I'm going to share with you guys today from The Ordinary is my favorite, and that is their Lactic Acid 5% with 2% hyaluronic acid. Like I said, everything from this line seems to have hyaluronic acid in it. Although that's very true for skincare. It's like the star ingredient. It's in everything now. Anyway, I got this initially hoping that it would be like a milder version of my Good Genes from Sunday Riley, and I'm happy to report that yes, that in fact is true. So what both of these products do for you is that they're loaded with lactic acid, and what lactic acid is a alpha hydroxy acid. There are quite a few. There's lactic acid, there's malic acid, there's citric acid, tartaric acid, and glycolic acid. What these acids do for you is they weaken the bonds of the dead skin on the surface of your face, or wherever you're applying the product. So imagine like your dead skin cells are like these interlopers that were not really invited to the party. This is like the bouncer that breaks up the fight and gets them out of there. The reason why this is so important is that the dead skin cells look dull, so they make your skin look dull. They're also kind of greedy because they will absorb all of your skincare products, and so by removing them, your skincare products will more readily absorb into your skin, so you're going to get more benefits out of your skincare. Your skin's going to look fresher and healthier. In my case, this actually helps me with my acne. This helps my skin look fresher and so much softer. Oh my gosh, like seriously, one night using Good Genes, my skin is like super soft in the morning. Now this is not quite as insanely effective as Good Genes, but Good Genes I can't use every day because it's a little too effective. And if I use this too often, my skin gets really red and irritated. So this is great because I can use this every day because it's just the 5%. They do sell a 10% version of this, which I have already ordered from Beautylish. I'm waiting for it to come because I'm hoping that that will be like an actual replacement for Good Genes. Good Genes has other stuff going for it, so it's still something that I could see myself purchasing in the future, but it's kind of expensive. So I would love to find a version. Let's see what the Ordinary's version costs. The 5% from the Ordinary is $6.50. The 10% is $6.79. So way, way, way cheaper than Good Genes. Another thing I like about this, and keep in mind none of this is fragranced, but the natural smell of this, I love it. It smells just like coffee toner, or just the way that coffees smell, like made from a big coffee machine. I know that's weird. Some people are probably turned off by the smell. I think it's divine, and I totally enjoy applying this all the time. And yeah, I actually intend on using this all over my body and starting to use this a little bit more readily in other places of my body because it's so inexpensive. So really, really, really happy, really excited, super impressed with this product. I am really excited to try some of their other products. In fact, there's something that's sold out at Beautylish right now. It's the Glycolic Acid 7% toning solution, and I'm really excited to try that out because I usually use the Pixie Glow Tonic, and I'm just saying, if I could try something that's cheaper that actually comes in a bigger bottle, I'm game, you know? So anyway, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky. Just be your own kind of beautiful. See you, bye.